Evening, VC. Dave here. Real windy day here in Charlotte. Jumping on. So been featuring some artists lately. So gonna do one more here since I have pretty much everything. And that's Clifford Brown, the great trumpet player from Delaware. Unfortunately, only recorded for 4 years. He was a victim of a terrible car accident at the age of 25. Yeah, he was with, I think it was Richie Powell and Richie Powell's wife. They had, Clifford had played a gig, I think in Philly, and then they were going to head to Indiana because there was a trumpet company that was going to endorse him, and he wanted to try out their product. And so they decided they were going to drive all night. Max Roach was not having that, so Max went back to New York, and they were trading off driving, and I guess the wife was a terrible driver to begin with, and she took the wheel and drove them off a cliff while they were sleeping in the back. So yeah, but one of my favorite jazz musicians, easily. Powerful trumpet player, real fast, precise, guy ran a clean living, no drugs, no alcohol. He's been featured before, but yeah, I've got quite a few of his records here. I'm missing maybe one or two small things. So I'll start with a 7-inch Sweet Clifford on Emerson Records with Ghost of a Chance and Sweet Clifford. This is a rare 7-inch. And the lineup here was Clifford on trumpet, Max Roach on drums, George Morrow on the bass, Harold Land on tenor, and Richie Powell on piano. And just to kill it, a little 7-inch I found at a convention, had no clue it existed. I was very stoked to find that. And we have the 10 inches here. And I think really there's a split with Lou Donaldson. I think on Blue Note that I would need, but I've got this here, reissue New Star on the Horizon, Clifford Brown. I think this was one of the 75th anniversary presses. This has got Cherokee Brownie Eyes on it. This is a great little 10-inch. Different players here. You got Charlie Rouse on tenor, Percy Heath on bass, Art Blakey on the drums, John Lewis on piano, on Gigi Grice on alto and flute. So a different lineup. One early on in Clifford's career. And I found this 10-inch for $3 at Repo years back. It's definitely goes for more than that. This is the original Clifford Brown and Max Roach 10-inch on Emerson. Man, this is a great one. That lineup again with Harold Land, fantastic tenor player. And then this one found at Criminal Records in Atlanta. This is the US copy. There is a French copy of this, I believe, out there too. This is the Clifford Brown Ensemble featuring Zoot Sims. That's a 10-inch. And yeah, a lot of different players on this. Shelly Mann's on the drums on this. So this is basically a West Coast date, recorded in California. And fantastic on Pacific. And I've got a few as a sideman. A couple I recently showed, but this one I had not. This is Sonny Rollins +4 on Prestige with Max Roach, Richie Powell, and George Morrow. It's probably OJC, yeah, OJC copy of that. Originals are insanely priced. And then I have the Night at Birdland, where he was featured with Lou Donaldson, Horace Silver, Curly Russell, and Art Blakey. I recently showed in the Art Blakey video. Clifford Brown smokes on this date. So there's volume 1, volume 2 on Blue Note. A great live performance. And then we have Jam Session on Emersy. It's an original copy of this. Some different players here as well. You got Clark Terry on trumpet. You got Maynard Ferguson is here. Harold Land, Richie Powell, George Morrow, Max Roach. But you have Dinah Washington on the vocal as well on this one. And then I've got a Japanese early press of Clifford Brown with strings, also on Emersy. This one isn't even on Discogs. It's freaking old. I'm not sure what exact year it is though. Not my favorite of his, actually probably the weakest album. Real laid back. You get into some more Emersy. Brown and Roach Incorporated is an original. This is a great one. And then probably one of my favorites right here is Clifford Brown and Max Roach at Basin Street. And this is a rare one to find. This is an original orange label from the UK that I have there. I believe there's US presses as well. And I have original US presses Study in Brown, Clifford Brown and Max Roach. And then we have Best Coast Jazz, also on Emersy, and this one's mint. This was a great find. Some different players here with Clifford and Max. Herb Geller, Walter Benton, and Joe Miani. And just 2 tracks. Coronado on side A, You Go to My Head on side B. Kenny Drew is here as well on piano. Very cool record. And then this one came from Memphis Vinyl Gym. This is the Memorial album. This is probably the one record in my collection that's in the worst shape of any. A lot of water damage, a lot of scratches, plays very noisy. I'd love to upgrade this. This is a second pressing. It was $30, so this goes for 100 or up, easy. Had my hands on the OG Lunchbox that Chris owns. I tried to talk the seller down. It was on consignment and it just wasn't happening. So that has to take care of business for now. Next is an original copy of Clifford Brown All-Stars on Emersy. This one's pretty easy to find. Caravan on side A and Autumn in New York. Great rendition of Autumn in New York on side B. This is fantastic. Found that somewhere in Louisiana. And then you have, the posthumous stuff. So you have Remember Clifford on Mercury. It's got some tracks like Take the A Train, which is a Billy Strayhorn track that, of course, Duke Ellington has done. And you have Max Roach and Clifford Brown, Dahoud. This is on the Mainstream Records label. And this is a great one, mono copy of that. And you have, this one I found at a convention. This is Clifford Brown, The Beginning and the End. So you have the first recorded live date and his last recorded live date on here. This is a really good one and pretty cheap, easy to find. And I have one I found at Tip Top, Brownie Eyes on Blue Note. And then probably this has got to be my favorite album of Clifford's, Live at the Beehive. It's a double. This is a promo copy. Very special record. After the car accident, the only thing that survived the crash was the tape of this performance in Chicago from November 7th of '55. It was given to Max Roach, and he couldn't bring himself to listen to it or do anything with it, and eventually it it did finally come out, and this was released. And as the story goes, in Chicago, yeah, one of the sax players had a family emergency or something out in California or out west, and just so happened that Sonny Rollins was staying at the YMCA in Chicago at the time, and so Sonny filled in, and just fantastic stuff. And you have Clifford Brown Memorial on Prestige, and this is with the Tad Dameron Orchestra on side A, and Art Farmer and the Swedish All-Stars on side B. Another one that's not my favorite, real laid-back orchestrated stuff. Next you have Pure Genius Volume 1, live date with Sonny Rollins here. This is really good, really cheap record. Great one. And one I found in Rochester at Bob Shop, More Study in Brown, Japanese press with the Obi. And Sonny Rollins is here as well with his standard lineup. And I have one of these Prestige historical series, the Quartet in Paris. Another one really laid back with some French players with Clifford on this. Different lineup. And then the last I have is the Best of Max and Clifford Brown in concert on GNP. This has been pressed a million times. You get this for like $5 anywhere. Another live date. This is from G. Norman Presents. So that's everything. Hope everybody's well. I got a couple more videos to knock out here. Peace.